Good morning, traders. This is Perry Wilkie with StartupTrading.com. It is Monday, January 13th. This is going to be our first full trading week in a month, right? The last three trading weeks have been 4-day weeks or three and a half in one of the cases. Uh, and then next week will also be a 4-day trading week because we have Martin Luther King Day, which ends up being inauguration day and the college national championship, so let's just take a day off. No, it is Martin Luther King Day next Monday, so it'll be also a shortened week. So as like to do on Mondays, I like to get a feel for what I think the volatility events will be for the week. So tomorrow morning before the bell, we're going to have PPI, which is a 2.5 star basically event that's going to print. Wednesday is going to be the 4 star volatility event. It's going to be CPI. And then as we look down the week, right, also Wednesday morning, we are going to have what I consider the beginning of earnings season, right? We're going to have a slew of banks and private equity reporting. Uh, before the bell on Wednesday. Uh, Coming back up to Thursday, we're going to have retail sales and unemployment claims. And then Friday is going to be OpEx. As I mentioned, Monday the markets will be closed. Futures will trade till 1 p.m. Eastern time, but the stock market will be closed. And I wanted to point out that this is one of those weeks that VIX does not expire this Wednesday on the monthly roll. It's going to expire next Wednesday, the 22nd. So that should tamping down volatility a little bit, potentially. It means it would have been much more wild had it been Wednesday and with OPEX on Friday. And this is just the monthly OPEX. So I think we beat up the news flow for the week. So as we look at Friday's close, right, we come back down and we actually got some repair, right? Some needed repair and structure. So we got down to this 20,900. We got down to 875 basically. We got down to, in the Dow, we got down to this basically 42,000 120 area. Uh, and there and we've taken out some poor structure that goes back quite a while. So as we look at what that did to structure, right, we have XS and A lines on the Russell, the ES, and the Dow. We have signal prints on the Dow that is very close to the XS and A line. And then we have potential capitulation, right? We had underwater trades go off in the Dow on Friday. So that's all potentially good signs for, or, all the kindling in the fire, if you will, for a potential at least short term reversal. And then uh, as we look at where we're at right now, Friday's point of control was 58.64. We're trading 58.32 after being as low as 58.09 in the overnight session so far. And you can see the next untested point of control below is at 58.01 that goes back to November 5th, right? That's the day of the election. And then then we had the post-election rally. So we basically kind of done a rounded top to get back right to where we started from at the election. So the title of my video today is Oversold at the bottom of the channel. And all that means is what I'm watching, and I've pointed this out, several times in the last week. I'm watching what is potentially a topping formation, right? So this downtrend line at the top on both the ES and the NASDAQ is very clear to be seen. The bottom of the channel is just an equal distance, line that lines up with the lows, so it's a perfect little channel. As you can see, the top of the channel is a little bit more well defined than the bottom of the channel. So normally, if this is going to be a major top, meaning that we're going to end up getting at some point in time somewhere between a 12 and a 20% drawdown from the tops, this top side of this channel is going to hold, and at some point in time, the bottom of that channel is going to get blown out, right? You're just going to keep streaking down. For example, right now, in the next, by the end of this week, if this were the time you're going to blow out the bottom channel, we could be down, around 19,000 to 19,400, right? So we could be down 1,500 NQ handles, right? The bottom of the channel is not uh, important, but it is something to, notice until you get that blowout uh, to go lower, if indeed that is going to take place. Right now, it's just, you got a high support resistance line, you got a low support resistance line, and they're not horizontal, they're, in a downtrend. So as we look at where we're at, and I didn't, I guess I could bring it back up uh, to show you, but we are basically oversold, right? If you look at the top left side of my sheet, the only everything is completely bearish except for the 20 to 60 day time frame on the Nasdaq, right? So you got oversold conditions in the ES, the Dow, and the Russell, and the Nasdaq is not too far behind. Uh, and we are at the bottom of the channel. So what that means is the bears uh, need to keep pressing, right? Or just, let it retreat back up to the next short, right? And the next short can be all the way up to the top of this channel again. I'm not saying that we just, smoke up there from here, but to be honest with you, the last swing high that we made was at 21,890. If we were going to do it this week, we could easily get back up to 21,780, which would be, uh, 200 points, about less than the high that we had last time up here. And the same for the ES. If we're going to smoke back up towards the top, we could get up back up to like 6,010 would be where you would want to see. So right now we're still one time framing down on the daily structure. We have hit in the overnight basically the bottom of a previous balance zone, uh, which I have it marked off as 20,677. Overnight we got down to 20,694. And then, back above, I would say 20,933, which is only another 120 points up from where we're at. That's when you start have to, question how seriously you want to be chasing shorts, because this channel can hold for a while or closely, right? It's going to be a little sloppier on the bottom than it is at the top if this is a topping formation, as I pointed out earlier. But your risk to reward, right? If this is resistance and this is, weak support or potential support down here at the bottom of this channel, your risk to reward is skewed, right? It's potentially until this breaks and we start pushing lower, uh, your risk to reward is to the upside. And what I've pointed out when we have these oversold conditions is, you can stay oversold for a long period of time. You can stay oversold for months, basically. Uh, but you really want to be aware of, once the market starts turning, that it's usually a wicked, short squeeze pattern up into the next short. Uh, and I'll leave it at that. So right now it's kind of, eh, there's potential for reversion at least back up to the center of this channel as we speak. So overnight action, not even 60 points, 58 and a half points. And then as we look at all of the indexes, you can see that they've all traded below the low of Friday. And then we have about, 30 more minutes before the bell opens. So more than likely, except for the Dow, which is the only one that stands a chance right now, you're probably going to open up below, Friday's low, on everything except for the Dow potentially, and maybe even the Dow. So here is that capitulation mark for the Dow, and we're basically hovering just slightly above it at this point in time. Uh, and we'll just have to watch. But what I'll be looking for is, see if we can get that retest near the lows, one more flush, and then you want to see what can happen from there. Keep in mind that getting back up above, and it will be a pretty good rally from here, uh, right? So getting back up into value, which would be um, and you can see where that point of control for the ES is right there too. So you'd really need to get back up above unchanged. And then I'm sure there's going to be resistance there the very first time you would get there if we do indeed make it up there. We'll see what the bears have for us in store today. But yes, Friday's lows, your first marker, value area low zone, the second marker unchanged, the marker after that on the upside. To the downside, the Bears just really want to. They need to keep it below Friday's low. They need to do another push down below the overnight low, and they need to at least consolidate down there into the euro close to see, if you can get anything. But again, uh, you're flirting with potential disaster at this point in the morning, trying to press lows because we're at that bottom of that channel. And, will this be the time that it gets blown out on the bottom of the channel? Probably not, right? We don't have major news until later in the week. We could get a move, right? But you have to watch where the risk to reward is and at least do a lot better job, or not a lot better job, but manage your positions more than you normally would while you're down here, because once you do start getting a reversal, you're probably not going to get any look back at all until you get up towards the middle of that downtrend channel. I hope this helps. You guys have a great day. We'll see how this shapes up, and we'll see Jack in about an hour and a half. Talk to you tomorrow.